Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And now we see them, and today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let me go ahead and get into this topic here. As you guys know, there's kind of this back and forth between Dan Le Batard and Stephen A. Smith. They've had their back and forth, and I think because of the exchange that the two of these gentlemen are having, it is causing Dan Le Batard's platform to now discuss things that are centered on these type of things, where you're discussing things about media personalities within the same industry that you yourself conduct your business, right? And I've been following some of his shows, and they've been doing extremely well, right? Especially the shows I've been seeing on YouTube. A lot of people have been tuning in. So yesterday, I came across a segment of his. It was about a 36-minute clip. And it was a clip from his full show, which is hosted, by the DraftKings network. So he was talking about a bunch of things. But in this particular clip, he was actually exposing how people like Colin Cowherd of FS1 and people like him, like Skip Bayless and others, who have found a way to create headlines by basically, giving bad takes. And essentially what he was saying was, there's a lot of money in being wrong in the sports industry. Now, it sounds counterintuitive. You're like, wouldn't you want to be right? He's like, no. You can make a lot of money if you're someone that gives bad takes. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what he said here, because I thought it was a bit profound. And the reason I'm giving his words gravity is because this is someone that worked inside the industry, that still works in the industry. So I'm going to put a premium on what he has to say. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what he had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that.
I mean, when you look at the powerful signature voices, whoever they are, Dan Patrick is now saying he's going to retire in 2027. Colin Cowherd, Jim Rome, whatever the signature voices have been in this space, aging, I'm genuinely curious how some of them are going to try and make it to what Bayless is at 70, which is still in the game by being just the most absurd. The most absurd. Just hate LeBron for 20 years. Don't enjoy the 20 years. Just hate them. I'm a cartoon media villain, and that's what I'm doing. But the one that I find more interesting than that is what Cowherd's doing. Because Cowherd is super calculated about how he gets people to listen, and he knows that there's money in being wrong. So he's got no problem taking out Justin Fields as a quarterback, because why not? It's content, and it's not a human being. It's just something I said once upon a time. Being wrong doesn't cost me anything. I'll just go after Justin Fields, but I'll do this purposely and purposefully. I'm going after that guy, Justin Fields, because he's an avatar for something. Is he a quarterback? Is he running back? What is he as the game changes? Can he be the things that the quarterback has always been, which is Peyton Manning? I'm going to question him. I'm going to question him loudly. And then he does it in the greatest way possible, because this is the way that he does it. And I just loved it, because if you're looking at it from someone calculated to bother you, he's always been 60-40 that Justin Fields is going to succeed. And today, in July, because the football machine must be fed, he's pulling back 5%.
What?
Oh, my God.
Which way?
Wow. He's pulling back. He's pulling back from 60-40. He's going to succeed to 55-45.
I thought we were going to get 50-50, but he's like, I'm not ready for that.
Not yet.
He still thinks he will succeed, but he's leaving himself the chance that he's going to be less wrong because he moved it back 5%.
55%. It sounds like he's less certain that he's going to succeed, right?
But then here playing this same game, slides in on Fox Sports as well. Craig Carton comes in and says Daniel Jones is arguably one of the best running quarterbacks in the league.
Holy shit.
Arguably.
Arguably.
I like the arguably.
Look at what we're doing there.
I'm ready for an argument.
Saquon's holding out. Daniel Jones might be a young savior at the quarterback position. Can't have too much Lamar Jackson at quarterback.
No.
Got to prop up some Daniel Joneses.
All right, so if we're talking about accomplishments, he needs at least a couple more rings, probably one more MVP. But if we're talking about accomplishments, Jordan's not the GOAT. It's Kareem. And if it's not Kareem, it's probably Russell. So we're not really talking about accomplishments. We're talking about who's the best. Who's the best? One game to decide your life. Who do you want in all-time history? So for LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time. LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals, and all he's done since then is continue that. He's on the greatest streak in postseason history since Dre called him the B word and Clay said his feelings were hurt. He's played 16 games. His team's 15-1, giving you 34, 9, 8, and 55% shooting. And when we're just comparing the two players, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, blocks, steals than Jordan. Shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3, is the more versatile defender, can guard all 5 positions. He can do everything Jordan could do, but better. So what does he need to do to pass Michael Jordan? He already done past Michael Jordan as far as who's the best player ever.
So you heard what he had to say there. Now let me tell you why I think what he said was interesting. The moment he started explaining it, a lot of the things that Colin Cowherd, has said in the past started to make sense to me. Because when I used to hear him talk in the past, it would really befuddle me with some of the takes he would make. Some of the things he would say about various players like Russell Westbrook, Michael Jordan. A lot of these things you'd be sitting there scratching your head wondering, but why are you saying this? This is clearly so wrong. But nevertheless, you continue to say it. And as I was thinking about him, it made me think of someone called Nick Wright. Now, Nick Wright is a professional Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant hater. Kyrie Irving hater. Nick Wright will pretty much hate on anyone that he views as a threat to LeBron at any point in time, even Kawhi Leonard or whoever. He will prop up anyone that he believes could be viewed as better than any of LeBron's adversaries, i.e. Giannis Antetokounmpo and all of these guys being better than Kevin Durant. And Nick Wright actually made a name for himself back in 2015 or 2016 when he made his debut on FS1. When he came out there and gave probably his most ridiculous take in his entire career. And the moment I thought about this take, it made me realize that what Dan Le Batard was actually saying was true. So what we want to do is, I want to play what Nick Wright had to say on his very first appearance on Undisputed, on the very first episode he appeared on that network. Take a listen to what Nick Wright had to say here. So you heard his comments. Now, in this particular clip, this video, as of today, has 3.4 million views. 3.4 million views. I think it's easily the single most viewed piece of content that has anything to do with Nick Wright. If we're just talking about a single piece of content, it was that speech that he gave there that gave him relevance, because it was such an outlandish take that it caused everyone to pause and be like, wait, did this guy just say that? And then by him saying something like that, he found a way to create headlines for himself. And funny enough, we've done a lot of reaction videos to some of the things that Nick Wright and others have said, that, in that same vein. And some of our viewers have always said, don't give these people the airtime, man. Don't talk about them, because you're accomplishing exactly what they're aiming to do, which is to have you talking about them. And this is exactly the point that Dan Le Batard was making, but it only made sense when I myself went back and thought about it. That there's real money in being wrong, because you're still generating views and attention. That's the thing. You're still doing it. Conventional wisdom will say, give good takes, and you'll be good to go. But there's another school of thought that says, give ridiculous takes, grift, and you can also garner some attention. Is one of the reasons you see people out there like Ryan Hollins and all. And I think one person who has done that to a certain extent is Kendrick Perkins. I think Kendrick Perkins understands that now, listen, I need to, if I can say the most outlandish thing that is somehow anchored in reality in some way, shape, or form that can generate headlines, I'm good to go. And that's the game. And I think that's the game that Dan Le Batard pointed out, which is one of the reasons I personally believe that he believes the sports media landscape is turning into a circus. where it's like anything, it's like the Wild Wild West now. So I thought that was a pretty good point that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about this. The question is simply this: do you think that Dan Le Batard has a point when he says there are people out there that are trying to build a name for themselves by actually being wrong? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. And again, if you want today's full show, be sure to check out the Dreamerspro podcast that we have in the pinned comment below. You can check us out on iTunes or Spotify. Catch you guys on the next show.